Alrighty, so we're going to look at decoding this magnetic lock, which I think is from Japan. Obviously it's designed to be installed, kind of held in place in something, and then there's another mechanism that comes in the back here, which is how this works. So it has this little switch, which does this little latch. And if the key is in place, then that latch can retract, and then obviously the lock will let open. So for all intents and purposes, this is essentially pick-proof, unless this was installed, which goes against the sort of principles of lock sport anyway. And we don't know what is attached to this. We can't tension this from the front, right? There's no way of applying tension to it to manipulate these elements individually. But we can have a go at decoding it. So if we look at the key, it has like 8 magnetic elements in it, right? And I've made a jig which kind of matches that key shape, and it has slots to install some magnets in. And we're going to try and decode it just using the lock. I mean, I will refer to the key just for ease of doing this, but you will be able to do it just from the lock itself. So the main thing we need to remember is that it goes this way. So Sharpie mark on here, that's the top. And when we fill it full of magnets, it should look like this, right? There should be the same pattern. So like this bottom corner will be here when it's flipped over. So we'll have 3 on the top and 5 on the bottom, and then it'll go that way. So I'll leave that there so we can see what we're doing. We're going to take a stack of magnets. Some of these have got Sharpie on already from where I've been messing around with it, but we're going to go with this like top corner one first. So you can see this is now repelling. I can feel it against the pin. And if I put it against the key, it's going to attract. There we go. That's repelling. I'm already getting confused with the orientation of this, aren't I? The pin is going to be up here in the top. This bottom on the key, top on the lock. So you can see it's attached to, like it's attracting to the lock face there. So that one repels, and you can kind of hear it jiggling the pin around in there, and then it repels against the key, which tells us that it's the same pole. So we want that to be facing up in our little jig. So we're going to put it in this spot, and that's going to be our first pin. And then we're going to go and do these 3 here, which are going to be on this face. So that's repelling. Again, we can check that with a key. Repelling, so that's going to be facing up. And that's going to slide into that slot there. And then we want the one next to it. So top of the key, bottom of the lock. Here's one attracting there, and then one repelling there. So we want the one that is repelling there. Let's verify with the key. Yep. And then again, we want that one facing up. And then we should have one more on the bottom. So that one's going to attract. So that's not the one we want. We want the one that's going to repel. So we want this one to be facing up. And then we just need to do this one, which again, that's going to repel. So we want that to face up. So we've built up this part of the key, and now we just need to do the other side. So we'll go to this corner. You can see that one's attracting. If we do it that way, it's going to repel. So we want this in that spot there. And then we want, oops, you doing these? On that one, which is going to repel. I'll verify that with a key. I'm pretty sure it's this one. Yep. So we want that one facing up. And we've just got this. I put that in the wrong spot. Did I? I tested it in the wrong spot. Luckily, I think they are all the same. Repelling, repelling, attracting. So we want this one. Yeah, well, that's going to attract that. This is the problem with this, is it gets so confusing when you're trying to do it on camera. So we've got this one, which is this pin here. So we've done that. Its neighbour. Let's check against the key. Is the opposite pole of that one. There we go. So this one wants to be in there. And then we have this final one, which should be this pole. Yeah, so that one wants to face in there. And if I did this right, this should now be a working key. So let's have a look. There we go. Working key. A little bit janky, but it did open the lock. Let's do that again. So you can see it's locked up. And there we go. It works. So that's how you can decode this style of lock, just using the magnets on the face and a little 3D printed gadget.